come back here. Okay, we are live.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. If you're in the Chicagoland, the weather's starting to change. The snow is melting. We're all excited. It's almost the end of February. You can believe how fast this month went by. But we're going into March, so we're going to be heading into spring. We have an exciting show today. I am so excited. I just can't believe that this girl, what she has to talk about. So I'm going to hand it over to Debbie, and she's going to introduce her. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Laura. How you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited here to have the honor to actually have a guest. We have Dr. Corine Ferebee, and I'll tell you what, I met her a few weeks ago, and I was connected through a mutual friend that I met on LinkedIn, and we were on a Zoom, just kind of having a little networking, getting to know some ladies that the group of ladies had been interviewed by a mutual friend of ours, Lissa Figgins, and we were just kind of telling a little bit about each other. And as I heard her speak, it just made me say, I went to Lori and I said, we have got to get her on our, show here, because she puts things, she's got a big heart. You could tell already, the big smile on her face, she has a big heart, but she's got so much education and so much behind her, but also she has a lot of experience because she personally can tell you through her challenges how she came to the place she is. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about her background. So Corine is a pharmacist, an entrepreneur, and she had studied at St. Xavier in Louisiana. She goes on to bring in more and more degrees and more and more degrees. And as she has gone along her journey, she had worked in retail pharmacy, but then she also, through her personal experiences and challenges, she had became passionate about her vision to bring wellness to others and to be able to have other people experience and go and be helped through. She does personal training, she does wellness consulting, and she does use a very holistic approach with some of her different things that she works with. So with that, I want to bring on Dr. Corine, and I want to say thank you for spending some time with us. And we know that your story is going to help others. And we hope that through this, everyone who's listening today, whether you're listening now or you're sharing it with somebody, she's there and she has ways that she can help you, especially now that we're in this social, Zoom situation. It doesn't matter that we're here in Chicago and she is in Atlanta, Georgia, in a nice warm place, of course. But anyways, with that, I want to bring it on and thank you for joining us today. And we welcome you.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate you guys sharing your platform. And yes, it is beautiful here in Atlanta. It is like going on 70 degrees today. So I'm super excited about that. I cannot wait to get outside. So yes, I want to be able to share my story. I'm very passionate about helping other women. Like Debbie said, I am a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for the last 14 years, right? And so I started out typical retail pharmacy, and then I was blessed to have an opportunity in the clinical space. And what I learned in with people, and not just finding out or telling you, yes, you have diabetes, but really trying to figure out why. So what does your home environment look like? What does your everyday look like? What do you eat when you go to work, right? Because all of those things play a factor into why you are living the life you're living. So I became extremely passionate about that. I ended up back in the retail setting, right? And so when I ended up back in the retail setting, I said, first of all, what is this? Like, I felt like I was on this treadmill, just running for my life, filling prescriptions, not really taking care of patients. And so I knew at that moment I needed to create my exit plan, because that was not what I wanted to do. I didn't go to school all that time to just fill prescriptions and put them in a bottle. I wanted to take care of patients. And so in that process of creating that exit plan, I was diagnosed with lupus, right? And so it was crazy because I really had been suffering with symptoms for about 10 years. I was back and forth to the doctor. My hair was shedding. My face was breaking out. My joints was hurting. I was extremely exhausted. And the doctors kept giving me excuses as to why I was experiencing these things. Oh, you work a lot. You work 13 hours a day. You're on your feet all the time. the acne is coming from stress from pharmacy school. And I'm like, are you guys serious? But they were the experts. So I went with it, right? And so I just kept putting it off until one day I went to get out of bed and literally fell to the ground. And I was like, what is happening here? And so I reached out to my doctors. And of course, now everyone's in a frenzy. Everyone's running around trying to figure out what's going on. And so what they found out was not only did I have lupus, but I had lupus nephritis. And so my kidneys were failing. So
Mhm.
now I'm in my 30s. You're telling me I have lupus. I have two small kids, and you also want to put me on dialysis. And I said, oh no, this cannot be my life for the rest of my life. Something has to change. And so before you knew it, I ended up on 13 tablets a day. And I just so happened to be a pharmacist that doesn't swallow pills well. So just the idea of taking medication every day, all day, was so traumatic for me. And so I knew I had to create a different path for myself. And so I started to do a lot of research and I ended up coming up with a more holistic way of taking care of my body. And so for me, that meant that I changed my diet and I took meat off the table. I reduced dairy. I reduced all those things that cause inflammation. So dairy, sugar, and like I say, I took meat off the table. In addition to that, I started back prioritizing myself and exercising because before I had such a strenuous job, I was exercising all the time. I was running every day, just enjoying life. And so before you knew it, the career became the focus, the children became the focus, the husband became the focus, and I was no longer prioritizing myself. So I started back exercising every day, created an exercise plan for myself, which then motivated me to become a personal trainer because I was enjoying it so much. I said, I got to start putting things into my life that I enjoy. And so that was one of the things that I enjoyed. And so now I'm not eating meat. I reduce sugar, reduce dairy. I'm exercising. And before you know it, I went from 13 tablets a day down to 2 tablets a day. And I
Wow.
said, oh, wow, I have to tell people about this. Like, there's so much more than just taking medication. And so, unfortunately, what I learned by being the patient, because now I was the patient, I was no longer on the other side as the provider. What I learned is that a lot of providers are not asking the right questions. They're not having the right conversations. And so, because no one sat me down and had a conversation about nutrition or, exercise or stress reducers. And so I had to do those things for myself, but I did, and they worked. And I wanted to share it with everyone else. And so I created a company called Trinity Wellness RX Consulting. And so in that company, we focus on the busy professional women. And the reason I focus on that population, that group of women, is because number one, women really are the ones that make all the decisions, right? So if we can get the women healthy in the household, it trickles down and we can get everyone else healthy. But also, busy professional women have a tendency to not prioritize themselves, which is exactly what I was doing. And so I love to work with that group of women because again, I feel like it trickles down. And so what we do is we help women to manage their symptoms as it relates to chronic fatigue syndrome, all types of autoimmune disorders, as well as weight loss management. And we do this with integrative health and functional medicine. So then that means we can incorporate everything and take care of the whole patient, right? So we're no longer just giving you a diagnosis and say, hey, you have lupus or you have diabetes, but now we can say what is really causing your particular body to experience lupus, to experience diabetes. And a lot of times we find that it relates back to gut health. And so then we're able to fix all of those things, right? We deal with all the toxicities, we deal with all of the deficiencies so that people can live an optimal life. because that's all we want to do. We want to enjoy life. Who wants to take 13 pills a day? Who wants to feel like they can barely get out of the bed every day? And for me, especially having two small kids, I just felt like that wasn't an option. Like I was forced to figure out something else. And so that's what I did. And so luckily, I had already had the vision of working virtually. So I had already created a virtual platform for my clients. And then the whole pandemic hit. And I was like, okay, thank you, God. Like this all just was in alignment, because I had already started that process. And in addition to just working with clients as a health coach, I also have a program called the Virtual Gym. And it's just like a gym. So it's a platform for women. They come, we have a variety of trainers. We do all type of dance and Zumba classes. We do cardio and strength. We do kickboxing. We do yoga. But we come and we have built the community so that people can be encouraged and motivated to move and just have better health overall. So if you guys are interested in any of that, if you feel like anything that I've said may resonate with you and you want to get a better hold on your health, you can always reach out to me. I'm everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, at Dr. Corine Ferebee. Okay, so I would love to hear from you guys. Reach out, follow me on those platforms because I give a lot of valuable information. And then you can also ask me questions. So that's my story, and I'm gonna turn it back over to you guys.
Oh my gosh. I just got to say that, like, I love you. You're so amazing. But what's really cool, the passion in her heart is all about what we talk about. One of our biggest things this year has been Reset 2021. And you're never too young or too old or too proud or too whatever to say, I can reset myself and I can get myself to be the best version of who I am and do that. And you're so right with the fact that, like, us as women, if we happen to be, should we say, a leader in the household in a way, if you will, what we do and how we show an example to others is going to trickle down, just like you said. If we're taking care of our health and we're cooking that way, everybody else is forced to eat that. I cook for 5 people every day, so it's like, okay, they got to eat the way I'm eating, and I try to do the best I can to provide that. So the whole overall what you're doing and how you're focused, I love, love, love. Lori and I are definitely going to ask that you share all of your links like we talked about, so that everybody here today who is listening in can have access to know where to find you. Also, in case they have any friends or family that they can think of, like, oh my goodness, this is a perfect situation. So many times we don't know where to start off with. We don't know what to do. We might be embarrassed to go to the doctor and say, I feel this way, or we want the help, but we want it to be in a place where we have a comfort zone, and you definitely lay that out that way, where I feel like people, are going to feel really great about being able to talk to you and be able to get, the help they need and stuff. And so, Lori, I know I can see your wheels on the bus turning. So I'm going to turn it to you.
Thank you, Dr. Corine. You're just awesome. And I just want to tell you, a lot of people know I'm in the same boat as you. I have MS, fibromyalgia, diabetes, degenerative disc disease, and I take right now 11 different medications a day. And my boyfriend keeps going, how many medications are you going to be taking? Well, and the thing is, you go from one doctor and they say, okay, go to this other doctor to go look at this. And then that doctor says, well, we want to see what that's going on. And then you got to go to that doctor. And then, it's just crazy. And all of a sudden you find out you have all these different things going on, and they just throw medications at you. They have never talked to me about nutrition. They have never talked to me about exercising. All they do is focus on the disease. You know what I mean? And yes. So I think you are an inspiration that you took the time to do this. And I just hope that people really go and look at your sites and talk to you. I know I'm going to. I just think it's amazing. And you know, the thing too, if anybody's out there that has to take a lot of medications because they have all these autoimmune diseases or any diseases, you have to take one pill, and because you take that pill causes you to have another reaction, so you have to take another pill to have that react, to get that rid of that. And that's how you end up having 11, 13 different pills. So
Yes.
with that, I just want to say thank you. And I also want to say, I give a shout out to my special friends that are watching today. I know who you are and you know who you are. So I want to say that all the people that watch us on Wednesdays, and it's just amazing. And a lot of the new people that have joined. So with that, Debbie, I'm going to bring it over to you.
Well, I just want to say one more thing. I want to say that, we're real excited that, we're growing and that we're meeting people and we're feeling so blessed. Meeting new people every day and meeting new people that we can talk to, just like we have today, has been really awesome. So again, we're going to say, please guys, invite your friends to join us. And, we're growing, we're looking at hitting that 1,000 mark. I know it's going to be coming soon. And I know that by that, we're going to be able to just help so many people. I think the biggest thing that this last year, going through so much that we all went through, I think we realized that it would, at the end of the day, when you can get out there and you can be that inspiration to someone else and you can help them and lift them up and get them out of their funk, get them out of their, whatever it is, that's just the best blessing in disguise, So with that, I'm just going to say thank you again, Dr. Corine, and that if you, like you said, we're going to get sharing this right away. We're going to get it up on my YouTube, and, please guys, reach out to her, and, I know that she can help you. Okay. So, thank you so much for spending your time with us.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are so welcoming. I love your spirit. And I will definitely share this and encourage people to connect with you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, great. One last thing. Make sure that you post on our Facebook page all your links so people could go on there and look at it. Okay?
That's awesome.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day. Okay.
Okay, happy Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.
Dr. Corine.